Good evening, and welcome to today's presentation.
Yo, welcome to the channel. It's your boy Skatery, and on today's video, we're doing a review on Bloodborne. Back in 2015, Sony and From Software released this horror adventure title exclusive for the PS4, where in a dark and stormy night, a disease has plagued the land, and you are set out to participate in the great hunt.
You are set out to harvest the souls of the wicked and damned.
Set in the city of Yarman, you'll be traveling through these dark alleys where these gothic Victorian-like buildings are stacked on top of each other, towering on top of you. But you'll also be going through dark and stormy swamplands and abandoned castles filled with beasts for you to hunt. Challenge yourself, push yourself to the limits. Dance with the dead, for you are not just a hunter, but prey. Now let's get this review started. Now the gameplay is very similar like Dark Souls with a whole new armory of weapons, but just like that title, you're going to be lost for the first couple of hours trying to figure out the controls. You're mainly going to be taking down enemies and gathering enough XP so you can level up as you travel through the lands to discover the mysteries that awaits. And the enemy AI is extremely aggressive with a vast variety of movesets, and you collect a grand amount of weapons and abilities that allow you to tackle the enemy with whatever they throw at you. Now the controls do take some time figuring out and getting used to, but it plays like any other traditional game. You can slowly walk around and run through the lands of Yarman as you go through these dark buildings, abandoned churches, and dark alleys. But you also have to be aware of fall damage. You can't just walk anywhere, but you can fall about the same height that you're about to see right now. Now you also have to be aware of the beasts that come in. Now there is a light stealth attack, but even the beasts themselves can just come out of nowhere. Now you have the ability to dodge and use the weapons that are given to you, and also a set of light and heavy attacks as well. Now there's also an online component where you can invite friends or see other players' moves throughout the land. And the sound effects are extremely gory, filled with screams and blood splats. And the main gameplay loop is you taking out all those enemies so you can level yourself up and upgrade your weapons to take down the main beasts in the game. And each area has their own set of boss rooms, with some hiding different abilities and weapons that you can collect, and some enemies blocking the initial path of the story. And this is where the real fun begins. Each boss has their own unique set of moves, so the player really has to study this weird dance between the enemy. And some have different wave sets as they evolve throughout the battle. And this constant aggression causes the player to really focus on the enemy's moveset, as they'll be changing their abilities throughout the play. And while you can invite your friends online to help you before a battle, there's still a chance of you taking damage and not having a perfect run. But I always found myself constantly moving, dodging the enemy's every move, and always looking for that little opening, that sweet spot to come in and attack. Finally, after you take down one of these beasts, they'll drop you either a new weapon or item that you can use throughout the game, and a large amount of blood echoes, which is this game's in-currency that you can use to upgrade yourself. Well, how do you upgrade yourself? Well, you're gonna go to these lampposts where you can pop up the menu and use the blood echoes you have to level yourself up. This also serves as a save point, which I really recommend, because if you take an L, then you'll lose all the blood echoes you have. And you also have access to this in-game hub where you can upgrade your weapons and travel to different locations. And the environments that From Software have created are truly creepy and terrifying, having a cohesive sense of terror throughout all the areas. And while From Software has been known to have elements of horror in their games, this one feels like they gave you the keys to an open haunted house. And the gameplay is truly something special, where on every corner there's something new, just like the gameplay itself, where you're constantly trying to figure out what abilities you have, how can you approach the enemy, and what situations are you able to tackle, as the game is constantly throwing things at you, as the customization allows for multiple options and opportunities in battle. And its online function is very welcome whether you are connected or not. It allows you to see these shadowy figures of other players traveling throughout the land, and they have the ability to leave these hidden messages for you as well. And you can invite a friend before the battle, which you're definitely going to need, because how else are you going to take out these beasties? Since its initial release, some might argue that this is still one of From Software's finest games to release, allowing the developer to fully go and embrace the horror elements that they've always showcased throughout their Dark Souls series, while creating an original IP and world of their own. The lands and beasts of Yarman have this consistent design throughout the environment. And the gameplay has this great fluidity of movement as you're constantly dodging and parrying the enemy's attacks. And the further you dive in, you notice the amount of environmental storytelling is truly astonishing and fills the lands of Yarman with pure terror. While this was my first playthrough of a game like this, I've never experienced this type of game where the story's in the very background and the main focus is the gameplay and you traveling through the lands and discovering the story and the little hints that it throws at you in this nightmarish world. And after 8 years, we answered the question, should you play? And I say yes. This is one of From Software's finest work in showcasing their true abilities. At first, everyone would say, oh, that's a Dark Souls-like game, but now I think Bloodborne actually stands as its own title and franchise right now. And while the opening area may be a little tedious and confusing for new and veteran players, I recommend that if you have a guide with you on the side, it would definitely help you through the opening area. Because what we have here is one of the most unique depictions of horror in gaming, and probably one of the finest action horror RPGs to date. 7 misguided hunters out of 10.
It was you, I knew you stole it. Give me that back, you conniving thief.
Yo, thank you for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoy the video. Please comment down below. Did you beat the game? Is this one of your favorite from the developers? How far did you get? And check out the page for more. I post reviews every Monday and Friday with extra videos sprinkled throughout the week. And if you want to catch me live, head over to twitch.tv/skaterraider.com with links down below. Till then, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!